liberty in which it is variously said, I'll be very daring and summarize all three of these great gentlemen of the great tradition of especially English liberty in one go. What they say is, it's not just the right of the person who speaks to be heard. It is the right of everyone in the audience to listen and to hear. And every time you silence somebody, you make yourself a prisoner of your own action because you deny yourself the right to hear something. In other words, your own right to hear and be exposed is as much involved in all these cases as is the right of the other to voice his or her view. Indeed, as John Stuart Mill said, if all in society were agreed on the truth and beauty and value of one proposition, all except one person, it would be most important. In fact, it would become even more important that that one heretic be heard, because we would still benefit from his perhaps outrageous or appalling view. In more modern times, this has been put, I think, best by a personal heroine of mine, Rosa Luxemburg, who said that the freedom of speech is meaningless unless it means the freedom of the person who thinks differently.
Welcome back to VTV. Sorry it's been a while. I was on vacation with my wife and I've gotten a little bit behind on things, so I'm ready to catch up. And my first matter of business was to get a new cord for my PVR. Something's wrong with the cord which makes recording very difficult, so I had to order a new one, which will take about maybe 5 days. So I decided to do something new for the community to try to bring everyone together on some type of common ground to have discussions. Which is the best football game? What will be the best basketball game? What's going on in the community? And how can the community become successful? This idea should bring something new to the sim community and shed a little bit of light. We're going to talk about Madden. We're going to talk about NCAA, NBA 2K. What is it that the Madden franchise needs? So let's let one of the best, Apex is Free, tell us exactly just that. Let's listen.
It's like his legs are not moving him forward. I mean, it's the illusion that it's moving him forward, but it still doesn't suspend one disbelief that this could be actually real, like how Madden 04's run animations did it. Look at how more real Madden 04 looks compared to Madden 12 as far as the run animations and the suspension of disbelief. Now I'm going to play it at regular speed. It's like Mendenhall, like I said before, he's on a treadmill and the treadmill is moving and he's on the treadmill.
That was Apex is Free talking about running animations. The link to his channel will be in the description. In fact, from now on, in all of my Madden, NCAA, NBA 2K videos, in the descriptions, I'll put the links to the channels of all the commentators in the sim community to help the community grow. Something else Madden can do better for the gamers is having proper foot planting within their game. So let's listen to Ryan Moody break it down.
So you can see here, Clark is starting the progression toward the outside. The cornerback is actually starting to work inside. And what happens is, even though the cornerback bites, he's able to spin around, come across again, and come up and snatch this ball. And I just want to focus on the footwork that's used here, because this is not something that's ever going to be realistic in terms of gameplay when you talk about players being able to change position like this. I mean, when he commits to the inside, that's fine, but look at this turn. With zero foot planting, he does a complete 180 on the field. When we pan out, you'll see he loses little or no speed and acceleration when doing this. Stays with Clark essentially stride for stride, and this is something that's impossible to determine when you're getting ready to throw a ball in terms of what the defender is going to do.
It appears the AI always seems to be in position to keep the user in check. And now for what could be seen as a moment of clarity, the sim community seems to be very unhappy with their voice to sim standard. This one will go a bit longer, so let's let J Music say what he has to say.
You cannot bring up Sim Community without bringing up Apex, Brozels, Versus, and Ryan Moody. You cannot mention the Sim Standard, without mentioning one of those 4 names. Guys like Smitty, Simfball Critic, they were basically, they just jumped in that lane. But these were the 4, drivers. You know what I'm saying? And all of them are gone. Now, was it because the guys in the passenger seat kept yelling in their ear and was, disrupting the way that they wanted to drive and the path that they wanted to drive? You know what I'm saying? Or where the destination they were trying to get to? Was guys like Smitty, Simfball Critic, Azora, in the back seat, no, go this way, we're trying to go this way. That's what it seems like. The Sim Standard cannot, like I said, they cannot sit here and say that they have not changed. They have went against the standard. They're not upholding the standard anymore. You see what I'm saying? So, when they come out and say, okay, you can either buy the game, rent the game, you do whatever, they used to clown Ronick, who else? People, they used to clown dudes who would stand in front of GameStop waiting for this game. They used to clown them dudes. Now that since they're the ones at GameStop now, since they actually like the game because of this broken physics engine, okay, you guys can do whatever you want. No one's responsible. They don't want to be responsible anymore. They don't want to uphold the standard anymore because they actually like the game. They achieved what they wanted to achieve. They wanted to get the devs' attention. That was their goal. That was Simfball Critic's goal. That was Azor Effect's goal. That was Smitty's goal. But that wasn't the goal of the 4 dudes who were driving, that are no longer driving. You see what I'm saying? Versus to this day is still talking about the same thing he was talking about 4 years ago. AI system. When has Smitty, Azor Effect, and Simfball Critic brought up the AI system? Versus is still talking about that. Still talking about that. Ryan Moody used to bring up pursuit angles. When has Azor Effect, Smitty, or Simfball Critic brought up pursuit angles in a video? When? When? None of these dudes are breaking down anything. They will pick a play. Okay, Simfball Critic, you have a video. As you can look here, this player movement needs to be fixed. I don't like how that player movement is looking. I don't like how that is going on. And Smitty will come out. Look at the down in the trenches. Look at the chaos in the. You know what I'm saying? And then Azora, well, I don't know where Azora at right now. Azora is on some Chase McCoy shit right now. He's just basically saying fuck the community, basically. And no one's breaking down videos anymore. So they got the keys to the car now, and they drove another direction.
It's beginning to seem that the community wants to see a bit more effort from the Sim Standard, who have voluntarily stepped into the position to fight for the individual sim gamers. And because they chose to do so voluntarily, I think it's an obligation for them to listen and respond to the community that they say that they represent. So here is how Smitty of the Sim Standard responds.
Briefly in regards to the football gaming, like I've said on the Sim Standard channel multiple times, we have a direct beeline to the devs in regards to conveying gameplay issues. That's mainly what I've been doing because I don't have the greatest amount of time, so therefore that's what I do. I convey when I'm able to do videos, I'm directly letting them know about the game issues. That's it. I'm letting them know about issues and concerns, so in that way it can be fixed hopefully in the next game or what have you. Because at the end of the day, it's on the dev team to make it happen. You have to speak up. So what I'm saying is, like I've said before, keep the video brief. Keep the commentary clean, and I definitely can convey the messages over to the dev team. You know, Sim has said it. Azura has said the same thing as well. So to the people that have done it, it's much appreciated. To everyone, to everyone else, like I said, the door is open in regards to that. Because at the end of the day, we want the best game possible. Madden 13, I said it myself, coming from the studio, that game was a rental at best. So what is Madden 14 going to be? I have no idea, but we'll have to wait and see.
It doesn't seem that the sim community is unhappy or does not believe that the sim standard is not relaying the information to the devs of the Madden team. I don't think anyone is disputing that. What the community is upset about is that the sim standard doesn't appear to be trying to grow the community. What does that mean? For example, when Barack Obama was campaigning for presidency for his first term, he would begin in one state, let's say talking about tax reform. He would begin in, let's say, New York, and he would campaign across the entire country all the way to California, repeating and reiterating the same speech he began with. In other words, he was saying the same thing no matter where he went. It isn't beating a dead horse because of what he's doing while repeating the same speech. That method will grow his popularity. Is because although you may have heard it before, newcomers to the community, new subscribers may not have heard it before. And what this does, like I said, it allows for your viewpoints to grow. I think this is the message J Music is trying to convey. So feel free to leave your own comments in the section below. And although at the moment I don't have any video footage to break down, I am going to talk about the 4 points I managed to put together are the most important factors the devs must consider if they are to head towards simulation. Number 1 overall is to shut down Skynet defense system. Your opponent cannot be your teammate, period. If your opponent, which is the AI system, is controlling your teammates, then you're still being held in check, and the AI system will dictate the game. My second point, the AI system must maintain player physics and the game rules only. Emphasis on the only. With the gamer being forced to select a difficulty, you're also selecting the outcome of the game before the game even starts. The prevention of predetermination begins there. Let the Browns play like the Browns. Let the Falcons play like the Falcons. My next point is what I call free flight passing. Most gamers don't know that although there are new trajectories in the Madden franchise, ball placement is still limited. The amount of places the ball can land is very limited. And because it is limited, the computer can easily predict, easily jump up, intercept passes like the linebackers used to do. You may or may not have noticed that defensive backs, when the ball is in the air, they slow down to get into position because they know where the ball is going to land. The ball must be able to land anywhere on the field. And if the AI is showing that they can easily predict the path, which is what they tried to eliminate with the trajectories, then they can easily predict where the ball will land, which is why they appear to be in the right place at the right time. And finally, my last point is foot planting. This plays into player movement, which should be physical and positional based. Offensive linemen should not be running the same as running backs and wide receivers. In Madden, they all run the same. If players are moving the same, we will continue to have players mirror each other. So these are my 4 points. I did my best to sum them up in only 4. You may have your own. And feel free to comment below and what you think Madden needs, what could help the franchise. Feel free to comment on any and everything you've seen in this video. And I'll see you guys Saturday when the community speaks out on NCAA and NBA 2K.